Greetings. This is Jeff trying to describe something I use sort of like for therapy. As someone with dementia, I can't get out in the crowd, do stuff, and with Parkinsons-like diseases, I can't climb and manipulate my environment and stuff. So I find it sort of refreshing when I can get into something else that I can actually do a lot of these things by only having to master like 2 or 3 little things. Now, this is a game called Dying Light. The game itself is a zombie thing. It's largely unimportant, but the point is that the whole game really is just sitting inside of a sort of a virtual world that you can climb around in. The game happens in it, but it doesn't need it. The game keeps going on when, like, the game itself is done. The world keeps going on. Day turns to night, which turns into day. There's dawn, there's dusk, there's weather patterns that changes all the time and things like that. You can hear wind, you can see grass. There's all kinds of stuff going on. You can swim in this world, you can climb anything you can get your eyes on, anything. And you've got a real tactile sense of connection to this world. So anyway, I like just tooling around this world and doing different things that they let you get away with, so to speak. And one of those things is bridge climbing. And yeah, there he goes. Okay, well, the thrills are cheap. All right, anyway, I'm going to climb this bridge this morning. And once I get past all the uglies here, which isn't much of really a thing to do, but I'm going to get past these guys, and then I'm actually going to sit here and climb this. Now, mind you, I'm climbing this. It's just a game on a PS4, but and I only need a joystick and like 2 buttons to do everything you see here. And so at any rate, you get to climb up, and you get to, basically anything in 3D you could think of is there to climb on. You can climb on it, climb up it, do stuff. But the kicker in this whole thing, at least this video here, isn't just the climb itself, although the climb itself actually can be a little bit of fun because, at least for me, because I used to be, when I was in the Army, one of the things I did was radio tower climbing and things like that. And let me tell you, these guys that made this game, or at least the world that it sits in, have things so realish feeling. I mean, you really do get a sense of you're being way up high in this thing. And so we got to keep climbing. We got a few more levels to go to get to the top. And then once I get to the top, the big bonus, if you want to call it that, though, but is that bonus of my morning was I get to do a swan dive off the top, several hundred, I guess, virtual feet down into a beautiful crystal blue-green bay in a little fisherman's village where I can swim around, see the fish going around me, playing stuff like that. I'll be crawling out and seeing some of the fishermen, but then that'll be it. But the point is being able to climb the tower, and then how, I don't want to say real, but pretty real this feels, both this, the swan dive, you get to see the whole thing from my perspective. Okay, and this is just one of the things you can do. You can go climbing around, you can drive around this game and go drive around the countryside, you can crawl through caves and do things, you can swim in the ocean, you can help a guy go fishing, you can pick flowers, anything you can imagine. I'm sorry, that's a poor choice of words, but anything that would probably happen in real life is going on here. Day-to-day lives, you see kids playing, people doing things, cooking meals and so on and so forth. It's very, very cool, actually. You can interact with most of them. All right, we got to creep across the bridge here to get to the other side to finish the climb. But again, this is very much the feel of being way up high. And I know I'm kind of whipping the camera around a little bit, but you actually can see the bodies moving around. They're milling around down there. I mean, it's not some static picture. But at any rate, we're working our way up this bridge here. While we're getting there, I can just quickly recap. This game is set in some sort of it's definitely a foreign city, but it's populated by anything from Australians to Turkish to whatever people. But it's kind of a resort town, and some sort of zombie apocalypse played hit. The town's quarantined in. You're in there helping them. Ta-da! That's the extent of the plot. I didn't say it was much. But it's something anyway. But it's a good example of the genre. Let's call it that. But At any rate, we're almost at the top. We're getting there. We've got a little bit more climbing to do, but I just wanted to try to convey some of the sense of realism that this feels, because you really do have a sense between this feeling of the whistling of the wind and just the stuff in the air and the stuff you can see around here. You know, this really has a feel of realism, and you know, anything you see, if you like went right towards it, I can go right from here. Like, I don't know if you can see some of that greenery in the distance there, but if I crawled or somehow got the whole distance to that greenery, you could like zoom in right out down to a piece of grass down there. That's how detailed everything is in this. I mean, there's nothing that's just bland or generic. I mean, everyone's got names. Everything has names, advertisements. You know, I mean, it feels very much like a real world would feel. And so, anyway, okay, cool. We're almost at the top here. There's a lot of climbing in this game. There's towers. There's cliffs you have to climb. There's this bridge. A lot happens on this bridge from time to time. All right, we're going to zip line across the bridge to get to the other side where we're going to do our dive here, which is coming up. Ooh. Now, this I consider a form of therapy for me, not because I'm actually going to get healed or fixed or anything, but I actually have a sense of, I don't know, just doing things a little bit, even if it's just a little bit and for a little while. And because of that, I feel better. I feel better, able to equipped to take, to fight this dementia stuff I got to deal with. Okay, here we go. The swan dive. We're going to go flying off here into that bay. And here we come. Push right down into it. And look at that. The grass, the bubbles in the water, the fish swimming around you. We're coming up, like I said, this little fisherman's village here. There's, I don't know what his name is, fishing. But there's guys hanging out here doing stuff. But, houses you can go in, people you can see, things you can do. I mean, there's a lot here. Anyway.